If you don't want to die, I'd recommend staying away from the edges of all cliffs. Hey there, welcome back to True North Reviews. My name is Ryan, and today we are doing an episode of Hot and Cold. This is a video series I like to do where I talk about the best and worst music I heard over the past week. Specifically for this episode, we'll be talking about any songs released between September 8th and 14th, 2019. As per usual, the songs will be linked down in the description. If you want to check out any of these songs, let me know what your thoughts and opinions are of them. Do that. If you have any suggestions for future episodes, feel free to let me know as well. Kicking off this week with some hot tracks, the best of the week, we have another new Charlie Puth single. This one is entitled Mother, and this is fun and lighthearted. It's nice to see Charlie switching up the edgy production that he had on his last single, and although I did like that one too, I feel like this new one from him, Mother, is instantly catchy. Louis Bell handles the production on this one. It's another gem for him in 2019 on top of the 5 seconds of summer cut that he had earlier this year. And yeah, this new Charlie Puth single is a great track. It's fun to sing along to, and it's always amazing when you get to throw some harmonies on something as great as this. Moving on from there, we have a new Fall Out Boy single. This one is called Dear Future Self. Hands Up, featuring Wyclef Jean, and this one feels like a return to form for Fall Out Boy. It seems like they are going back to the inspiration that they had on their record American Beauty, American Psycho. We have some fast, urgent, ringing guitars, some panicky vocals from Patrick. So yeah, we have something new and different from Fall Out Boy, but still not unfaithful to what has made them great in the past, and that is a difficult task to incorporate new styles this deep into their career, or for any band for that matter. Next up, we have a new single from the Canadian indie folk band Half Moon Run. This one is entitled Flesh and Blood. This is the second single for their upcoming record that they have now announced, and this one is so crisp, it's so clean with its mixing, it's smooth and soothing with its vocals. I just go into this tranquil state while listening to it. Rex Orange County has a new single this week as well. 10 out of 10 is the name of this one. This is like this indie pop blend with neo soul from an artist who has previously collaborated with Tyler, the Creator. Soulful singing, great tune, and solid production on this one. That's what you come to expect. Psycho is the name of the new track between Denzel Curry and Slowthai. This one has a scary instrumental, like super scary. Fire performances from both artists. The song makes anything from Denzel's new record look so tame in comparison, and this is just insanely aggressive, but it's still amazing, and it's just on a whole different level of aggressiveness, and I can't really say I recall hearing anything this violent or this confrontational this year. Switching up styles, I mean, I don't think we can get any more different than this next track here. It's the new Neil Young and Crazy Horse single, Rainbow of Colors. I get so many Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young vibes while listening to this one. Just phenomenal folk rock, soft rock going on here. There's an infectious little tune on this one. It's a lot catchier than you expect it to be, even after one listen, and I was humming it back through my mind for the rest of the day. Now wrapping up the hot tracks this week, we have a new tune from David Archuleta. This one is called Paralyzed, and this tune, it technically came out a couple weeks ago at the tail end of August, so I'm technically cheating with this one. It shouldn't really be on this episode of Hot and Cold, but I have to give a shout out to Garrett over at Yes Entertainment for recommending this song. I checked it out, and also before I start talking about the song, I gotta say, go check out his channel at Yes Entertainment. He's making a comeback. He's got lots of videos lined up for the future, and yeah, he's got lots of cool stuff on his channel. He's a music reviewer, he knows his stuff, and he's always so enthusiastic, and I just love watching his videos. More about the song Paralyzed though. This one is reminding me of the band Banners being mixed with One Republic. It's got a slower tempo, great momentum that explodes with a head nodding kind of chorus, and I'm digging it. Keeping things rolling with the middle of the road tracks this week. These are songs that I thought were okay. They weren't amazing, they weren't horrible either, just something to put out there, and you might like them more than I do. First up, we have a new Grande single. This one's called Father of All. I love the filthy drum performance on this one. It's laid down by Trey Cool. However, we get some weird soulful singing from Billy Joe, and I'm really torn on the vocals because they're so conflicting with everything that Grande has done before. We have hand claps too, a whole lot of weird stuff you wouldn't expect to work for a band like Green Day, and trust me, some things do sound awful with this song, but hey, I appreciate the experimentation one way or another. Next up, we have Ariana Grande, Miley Cyrus, and Lana Del Rey. They are coming together, joining forces for a track called Don't Call Me Angel, Charlie's Angels. This is in support of that movie. The instrumental easily has the most entertainment value for this song. It has the best thing going for it, and I'll admit that the collaboration is interesting, not for Ariana and Miley. Those are two big female pop artists that you would expect to team up at some point. But it's more with Lana Del Rey popping onto the bridge with this one where things start to get interesting. She throws off the pacing as you'd kind of expect. She slows things down. I can't blame her for that though, because that's her strength. That's her wheelhouse, as her new album flaunts that moody style. It's just more of a disappointment to see Lana's performance being cut so short. Everything is watered down to the fundamentals with not much being memorable about it. Or maybe it's just the fact that Lana is being mismatched with upbeat and energetic performances from the other two artists, Ariana and Miley. Take your pick. Moving on from there, Lil Nas X has released a remix of his song Panini, and Lil Nas X, he's no stranger when it comes to remixes. Who does he have lined up this time round? He has DaBaby. And I will say, Panini is a great song without the remix, but I totally see why Lil Nas X would enlist an artist like DaBaby, given that he's a highly sought after feature over the past few months. It really is just another way to promote a Lil Nas single. It won't reach the peak of Old Town Road, but it doesn't make it a horrible follow-up or a bad song either. It's more of DaBaby, not that his performance is poor, he's just leaving a lot to be desired because his feature is so short, just like the Lana Del Rey one on that track I was mentioning earlier. And yeah, with DaBaby, I still get a couple chuckles out of what he has to say, but then as soon as it's over, I'm just like, that's it? Why so short? And yes, I totally get why it is so short. It's the Lil Nas X formula. You have a short, catchy tune with a short feature just to get a couple more clicks and replays on the songs, and I think that's the part that's kind of bothering me. Still a great track either way, just the remix treatment wasn't really necessary, and it's not nearly as remarkable as it was for Old Town Road. Milky Chance have a new single out over the past week. This one is called The Game. This one is reggae folk with some electronic instrumentation. There's a catchy little tune on this one, a much bigger improvement over the lead single for this album that is on its way. Larke by Angel Olsen is another middle-of-the-road track this week. It has significant rises and falls in dynamics. I like that. It's a decent tune. And lastly, for middle of the road, we have a new Cold War Kids single, Waiting for Your Love. This one sounds like The Revivalists. I love the bass groove and verses on this one. However, it's the vocals in the chorus that aren't really turning my head in any way. And wrapping up this week with some cold tracks, by far the worst songs I heard this week, we have 3 to talk about. First up, we have the new Halsey single, Graveyard. The instrumental on this one, it sounds like a crappy leftover from Imagine Dragons' Origins. I can't stand that album. The vocals from Halsey on this one are way too robotic and emotionless, and I also can't stand the way that she says graveyard. Weezer has put out a single in support of another album that they will be coming out with. Thankfully not until next year, because I think I've had my fill of Weezer for 2019. Not that their albums have been bad this year, I do like them quite a bit. It's just I would like a break from Weezer at this point. The new single, however, is called The End of the Game, and this one, it's got terrible lyrics, terrible vocals from Rivers, and I dislike the guitars on this one. After we went through the Black album with like no guitars at all, it just feels weird that we're moving into this territory of 80s style playing of guitars. You know, you get the tapping and like the Van Halen kind of guitar tones. Not a fan of that. And last but not least, or should I say the least, this is definitely the worst song I heard last week, Somebody to Love by One Republic. Awful vocals from Ryan Tedder, overproduced beat, and bland lyrics yet again. And I feel like Ryan Tedder at this point is just choosing to give up his best songs to other artists, like 5 Seconds of Summer. He has some co-writing credits for that new Charlie Puth single that I've talked about in this segment, Mother, and Jonas Brothers. He helped put together Sucker. So yeah, One Republic, they're disappointing me once again. I haven't liked a single from them since Rescue Me, which came out in May, I think. There you have it. There's Hot and Cold for this week. Thanks for joining and listening to my opinions. I'd love to hear from you now. Sound off down below in the comments. Let me know what you think of these songs. Let me know what music you've been listening to lately. I'd also appreciate that. While you're here, leave a like, subscribe if you're new in town. I'll catch you next time. And as always, have a rockin' day.